All right, joining us now is Bob Boughner, the head coach of the San Jose Sharks. And Bob, you took over this team a little over a year ago. In that amount of time, how would you describe this team and its identity since you took over?
Oh, that's a good question. I think last year, when I took over and they made the coaching change, we went through a lot of turmoil. We had a lot of injuries, and we lost basically our three or four best players. Pandemic hits, season gets canceled, then we go through the summer of waiting around, and 10 months later, we find ourselves in training camp in Scottsdale. Not being able to come back to Santa Clara County, and 40 days on the road, and I guess I would say our identity is still evolving.
Fair enough. But it would seem that one of your approaches is accountability and just being able to show that you can produce. And if not, guys will get benched, guys that were normally, accustomed to seeing play a little bit more minutes. Sometimes you'll take them out on the bench. How is that translated? How are the guys responding to that approach?
Well, I think they understand. I think that with this compressed schedule of 56 games and almost, playoff kind of atmosphere early on in the season in game 10, 11, I think you can't afford to wait around. And we need to win hockey games, and we got to go with our best players. Some guys were more ready than others coming out of camp. And as you see the first 10 games go through, you see different guys stepping up on different nights. And some guys need to pick up the pace. They know that. And that's where they're rewarded with their ice time.
What is the number one or a couple of the top things that you try and instill in your players as we move forward in the season?
Playing with urgency, sticking up for each other, sort of that pack mentality. And we've done that at times this year, and we've been a fairly competitive team. And I like our character. I like the guys we have in our room. I think we play hard.
Indulge me for a second. I want to take you back to the time when you coached Windsor. You coached 8 seasons of junior hockey in the Ontario Hockey League. You were several times a coach of the year there. What do you take from that time that you can apply right now to this team?
Being able to teach, being able to develop at the same time, having the pressure to win games. It's a little different pressure. So at the end of the day, I mean, they still are, kids at heart that want to go out there, make a difference, want to have fun, want to enjoy coming to the rink every day. My job to provide that environment to succeed.
All right. Well, you talked about being on the road for so long. You've been cleared to return in a week. Home ice advantage is a little different with no fans, but just being home and the comfort level of being home, how does that change things for you guys?
Well, I think it's just mentally for if anything else. I think we lived out of a suitcase here for a month and a half, and being able to sleep in your own bed and not ordering out every night for food, and just being able to be around the guys with the families and their children. I think it's just great for their mentality.
Final question. I just finished this sentence. This season will be a success if.
This season will be a success if we keep ourselves in the mix, we give ourselves a chance to make the playoffs, and we take advantage of the last part of our schedule where we're going to be a lot of home games. And that's the key right now is keeping our head above the water here and battling out some points on the road till we get home and take advantage of the second half of the schedule.